questioning, but that a lot of radicalization takes place in schools or via social media, leading to recruitment of young people to extremist groups. Please outline what Thurrock Council is doing to prevent the radicalization of Thurrock young people.
The Community Safety Partnership, a cross-directorate group, has been established leading on the Prevent agenda. This is a national intervention to prevent radicalisation in local communities. It addresses all forms of radicalisation and is part of the government's counter-terrorism strategy, which is to prevent, pursue, protect and prepare. The Prevent strand is aimed at stopping people becoming terrorists or from supporting terrorism. The Prevent strategy responds to the ideological challenges that we face from terrorism and aspects of extremism, and the threat that we face from those who promote their views. It provides practical help to prevent people from being drawn into terrorism and ensures that they are given appropriate advice and support. It works with a wide range of sectors, including education, criminal justice, faith, charities and health, where there are risks of radicalisation to be dealt with. There is also a new duty as a result of the Counter-Terrorism and Security Act 2015 for councils to make checks on the use of public buildings, its internet filters and any unregulated out-of-school settings for young people. These include things such as after-school clubs, after-school groups, supplementary schools and tuition centres that are in place to support home education. Schools are also placed under a duty of care to their pupils and staff. This includes safeguarding them from the risk of being drawn into terrorism and non-violent extremism. Recognising the need to ensure schools have an awareness of the issues, Thurrock Council has commissioned training to enable staff to recognise the signs and refer, when necessary, into the Multi-Agency Safeguarding Hub, the MASH. If a referral concerning extremist behaviour is received, it is assessed and the appropriate support mechanisms are put in place. This training has recently taken place and feedback from schools has been very positive. We have also trained a number of local authority colleagues who will be training children and service staff, and training is of course also offered to local school governing bodies.
Radicalisation of youth seems to be quite rampant. Doing nothing is not an option, as parents are losing their children to extremism. We call on Thurrock Council to create a member-led committee to coordinate a multi-agency approach to tackle the threat of extremism and radicalisation in line with our duty to prevent, and as we heard earlier, our duty of corporate parents. The motion is in the best interest of all residents of Thurrock. It's not political in the big P sense of word, but it is vital, timely and crucial. It cuts across race and creed. It cuts across religions. It could affect young or old. It's of vital importance to all of us here in Thurrock and indeed in the UK. A simple Google search, earlier I put a news item, but not many people have put on the news now. A simple Google search will lead you to read about the deeds of Islamic terrorists, or suicide bombers, of radicalisation, whether the Taliban, the Nazi extremists, ISIS, or Boko Haram. You get to hear of young people leaving home, going to fight with the extremists. They think it's an in thing at times. They think it's cool. Initially it was of people far away. So far away we just thought, well, it's happened to them, not to us. It was of people you just heard about and read in the news. But it's closer than we think. With social media being available on any device, anyone, especially the young, can become radicalized. With freedom of speech and religion, which is obviously a good thing, people can get radicalized from far away or from their local place of worship or schools or on the internet. We need to work together to ensure that the whole of Thurrock is united against any form of radicalization. It's not just the work of teachers or parents or imams or pastors or social workers or the police. It's a job for each and every one of us. We need to provide everyone involved with children the tools to deter and protect their young minds against radicalization. Just as we have a duty of care so that our youth are not groomed for sex, we also need to ensure that they're not groomed or radicalized by extremists who have only one goal: to kill, to steal, or to destroy. We need to ensure that our youth, our young ones, have their life and they live their life to the fullest. In Thurrock, I acknowledge the work of the various organizations dealing with this. I acknowledge the work of the police, the MASH group as we've had, the Hate Crime Panel, Thurrock Safeguarding Team, the independent advisory group that advises the police, schools, children's social services, children's social care, etc. Many of us are involved in those, either as school governors or not any of these panels. But what we need to have is a collective as members. The new Counter-Terrorism and Security Act, as the leader of council said earlier, places a legal responsibility on Thurrock to set up a panel to coordinate this work, and I hope you agree that this should be member-led. As councillors, we have a corporate responsibility, and I therefore call on all members tonight to support this motion, set up a member panel that will bring all these stakeholders together. The panel will set the strategy for preventing extremism in Thurrock. We'll work with organisations to ensure the strategy is implemented, and we'll monitor progress and bring that report back. One child radicalised is one child too many. Thank you for your views.
There is a lot of work being done, as I set out earlier. But what I don't want people to run away with this evening is the suggestion that there is a real problem with radicalisation here in Thurrock. Much of the work that we've carried out does demonstrate that at the moment it isn't a real issue here. That doesn't, however, mean that there is any room for complacency whatsoever. I have run through some of the work that we've done. Tundi has elaborated on that and has brought in other areas where this work is being done on a multi-agency basis. And I think that member involvement, some member oversight of that, would only be a good thing. Can I suggest, Madam Mayor, that to move this forward, we should ask the Constitution Working Group to have a look at the terms of reference for such a committee and to report back in September so that Council can adopt that and move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kay.